All right, good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock. This is the time and place for the City of Tioga Commission meeting for November 18th, 2023. Can you stand for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of the Republic of one nation.
All right, so we can start with the minutes from December 4th, 2023 commission meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve, no questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 All right, so moves. All right, modification or approval of agenda, please.
I would like to add something to the agenda. It's for Axon response for the police department. I was wondering if we could make a motion with that addition.
If so, can we put that at 8.5, 8.5?
Sure.
All right,
If you guys are cool with that, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the Axon response.
Second.
all right. With the modification of Exxon respond, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 All right, so moves. All right, let's go into old business, legal report. Hold on. No, right again.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Okay, very good. If you can't at any point, Kevin, just give me an interruption and I'll pause so we can get that going. As always, I appreciate the appearance. I'm going to be brief this evening. I did want to let the commission know that I expect when we meet on January 2nd, I will probably have a host of business for the commission. Abby and I will be meeting later this week to finalize some projects, which we hope to complete in the way of ordinance work and whatnot in early January. So I suspect that will be quite busy. I don't have a lot to share this evening. There's a lot going on, but as I said, I expect there'll be some updates in early January. I did want to take the opportunity to thank the commission for all of their hard work over the 2023 year. I feel like we've got a lot accomplished, and I really appreciate having a good team. And I wanted to thank the community for their turnout and hard work as well, and wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And of course, as always, if you guys need my help during the course of this evening's brief meeting, I hope, looks brief looking at the agenda. I'm happy to chime in, but I think I'll leave it there this evening.
All right, perfect, thank you. Josh, Morgan, Mary.
Good evening. Few items to run through tonight with you all. First, South Main Street reconstruction. I haven't heard any updates on anything there. Unless there's anything you guys have, but no update from my end. Did you have anything to add to that at all, Liz?
I know, Josh, we're in the midst of some of the drafting that we had discussed, and I still believe that our timetable as discussed is appropriate, and I will keep you posted as developments occur.
Moving on to task order number 2, North Tioga reconstruction phase 2. We did, I think at the 2 meetings ago, we mentioned we did the walkthrough on the project, and attached to the packet is certificate of substantial completion on that project. And what that means is essentially the project is ready for its intended use. There is, still, punch list items from that walkthrough, that need to be completed, prior to the project, meeting final completion. And that work, of course, will be completed in the spring, addressing items from that walkthrough. So, any questions or comments on that? I guess the date of that, we did include, November 17th for the date of the walkthrough. That was proposed. Next item is the Tioga Dam Emergency Action Plan, safety improvements, that, geotechnical work is just about wrapped up here, so I think, one of the first meetings of the new year, we'll have that, document finalized, for that evaluation of the dam out there, so, more to come on that. The attached to that project, the recreational trail project out there. So couple meetings ago, we had the preliminary plans, presented for that project. Since then, I guess, kind of from our review meeting, that we had, with, city staff and Tim as well, there was discussion of the 2 water crossings out there, what options there are. Of course, bridge, would be the first, option, and then we did, look at, box culverts. So the minimum box culvert size, to pass the flow that would need to be there would be a 6x8, box culvert. And included in the packet is, some sketches of, kind of what those would look like. We did put in a couple other options of doing a 5-foot tall by 22-foot wide box culvert, and then like 3 of those, and that would be at the longer crossing to the east. That 3 could potentially be used. And the idea behind that was more so, to make it feel more like a bridge, kind of give that comparison. The culvert doesn't need to be that big, but kind of give it more of that, feel of being more so like, that option was, prepared as well. Included behind that in your packet is, estimates of those scenarios, for each water crossing. The first being the bridge, and then 6x8 box culvert, and then the option of a single 5-foot by 22 box culvert. And then at the eastern crossing, again, the bridge, the minimum size box culvert, and then the triple 5-foot by 22-foot box culvert. Of course, we put in those larger box culvert, prices are substantial or something like that. So, wanted to present those options. I guess you don't necessarily make a decision tonight. But wanted to present that for we can schedule design review to kind of narrow that down on what direction the city wants to go. So.
Really like the 6x8.
Yeah, those large box culverts, they're pricey, very expensive. So now you kind of have a feel for what costs are between options to kind of consider. So
We back up a second.
Yeah.
Back to the instead of that. Do we have a timeline for them on that punch list?
I haven't received any schedule. Of course, hope and get spring to complete that, but haven't received an updated schedule for completion of those items. So I can definitely reach out and request that.
definitely want to convey the urgency. That
Yeah.
they need to get some of that stuff done. They got a lot of work left to do.
Any questions then on the, trail project concept there? The, Third Street Northwest, North Hanson Street reconstruction project, that one again is, kind of shut down for winter. No updates on that. I'll reach out and see if they can provide a schedule, anticipated schedule for that, remaining work on that project as well. Next item is the baseball field relocation, next to the, just west of the community center there. Included in the packet is kind of the layout, that we're looking at for the field, very similar in size, just shifted west. Rotating it from how it's already now, to fill this space there. And kind of from that layout, we're preparing memorandum for evaluation of the impacts for the flowway, for state review approval. So from there, I guess once approval is received, can be rotated over to that direction. So the fencing is going to be the big end of that. As you can see, the existing field shown on the right there, there's substantially less fencing within the floodway. So depending on how we view it, there may be some different types of fencing that could be potentially more movable, that be considered there for their approval. So once we get that evaluation completed, we can have those options for that.
So they might change that floodway designation.
Correct. The county is currently working through updating floodway mapping and preliminary. There are, I won't call it, shouldn't call it preliminary, draft preliminary, the more appropriate term for it. That has been presented at some meetings, and it does change the floodway quite a bit in that area. The portion that actually goes across 6th Street to the west, just south of this proposed location, that field gets eliminated. So once that, if nothing changes with that, the footprint of floodway on the preliminary mapping, it could be, this could end up being not in the floodway at all, or much more reduced amount within floodway. So that's a couple of years old before they'll have that approved. So, and the timing with it becomes kind of a problem.
I did misspeak at one of these meetings. Chuck was talking about there is the breakaway fence. I was thinking it was just the outfield fence, home run fence they moved in. And he is right, and it's a breakaway fence. That's. I didn't understand. Thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't.
I think this diagram here makes it very clear. And I think, thank you for this diagram. I wish we would have had this a little bit ago. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, this helps demonstrate what you're talking about a lot.
Yeah. Having something to visually look at, definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, once we next week or so, we should be getting evaluation of the impacts within the floodway and building to the fencing through all of that stuff. So have some more information after the next meeting here in January. So. Okay, then the next item is the North Main Street reconstruction project that we're looking at for construction next summer. The layout of that is included in the packet. Kind of preliminary delineation of the area that will be included in the project. We did have a meeting on December 5th to discuss kind of the scope of the project and kind of narrow some things down. Few kind of more significant things that were discussed were potentially adding sidewalk replacement along the north side of Second Street between Euro and Main Street. Something that we could look at adding in if city desires. Also adding sidewalk north of Sixth Street on Main Street up to Signal on the east side. Since there will be sidewalk on both sides of the roadway up to Sixth, and the west side of Sixth Street between Sixth and Signal. Currently has sidewalks. So there's discussion of potentially adding that as well. One item that we did look at including within the project area is as kind of a safety improvement related to the crosswalk at the north side of Third Street on Main. There's a photo, kind of an example photo. It's called a raised crosswalk, or what people call them speed tables. Just kind of a tapered up concrete area to raise the pedestrians up a little bit down. This will help slow traffic a little. Some of that with the heavy school traffic, pedestrians walking through there. Discussed as a potential item to consider including in the project. I don't know if anyone's kind of encountered those anywhere or has any feelings either way. Wanted to throw it out as a potential option to include that.
Since it is right next to the school, it looks like a pretty good idea. It's a glorified speed bump.
I have mixed reviews about it, but most of them would slow people down.
They're fairly, it's not like driving over a 1 foot wide hump.
Right.
They're fairly drivable, but
Exactly.
yeah, definitely not.
Because of work. Because, yeah, no, it's fine.
It's something we can definitely think about. Just wanted to get it in front of you and going next year. It doesn't impact the huge amount with our design until right before that big change to add it in or take it out for us. Wanted to discuss with it. So.
Can we put a roundabout there? Kidding.
One way?
Too soon?
Should we put it one way again?
Too soon. Okay.
I'll stop. Okay, then the last item that we did discuss that was kind of out there was the sewer replacement on Third Street between North Main and Evo. Once we started looking at it, that road, I don't know what year it was reconstructed, but it's in pretty good shape. Actually, probably built within the last 10 years, I'd say we're in good shape. So we kind of want to avoid tearing up the asphalt there. So I guess kind of what we discussed was having the sewer there televised, so that we can kind of get a picture of the condition the clay tile pipe is in, to kind of make a evaluation if it really needs to be replaced or if it's something that could be potentially lined as an option to kind of not dig up that road and cause issues there. So with that, I did get, that's kind of the next item there, quote for televising of that sewer, that one block. From CC Steel, they've been doing a lot of the televising in town here, on recent projects. That quote is included in the packet, our cost on that is $4,966. A large amount of the cost is mobilization, just getting here. So I did talk with Jeff, to see if there was other areas that may make sense to include, since it'd be out here. 6th Street Northeast between Benson and Signal. There's been some issues with the sewers, as well as 4th Street, between North 20 Street, it's the half block to Benson Street. So that if you guys want to do the televising, adding that additional portion, that would be an additional $1,050 approximately, to add those, couple spots in that to see what the causing the issue.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth it. It'd be kind of nice to know.
Yeah, if it's gonna prevent us from having to bring them out here at this cost multiple times over, we'd be stupid not to.
We'd save a lot of money on that street too. When you tear that.
When would they be able to do that? Is that like an L thing or a spring thing?
They would probably be out here maybe later this week,
Oh,
or potentially next week. Kind of what their schedule. It sounds like they were finishing something up down south. They do some televising, so some southern states, but their crew is gonna be back here, I think, this week, so. They'd be able to like come out here the next week or two. So.
All right, so you're gonna need a motion for that one then,
Yeah,
if somebody wants that.
I'll make a motion, we do them all.
I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second to approve the televising this one, and then adding the additional, can you repeat them so that we can make sure I get them down?
Yep, 6th Street Northeast from North Benson Street to Signal Road. And 4th Street Northwest from North 20th Street east a half block to Benson Street.
Okay.
Those are in the packet.
All right, with the motion and a second to approve, no questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 So moved.
And then the last item I had on this project, was we discussed having a meeting with the residents in the neighborhood out there. I don't know if anyone has any preference on date or time, but we're kind of talking with him a little bit a couple weeks ago. We're looking at it sometime shortly after the new year to, and have pull everyone in from the affected area to kind of talk about.
Just try to avoid some surprises, construction season, like your tree might be gone.
I guess get with, unless you already have some dates that,
I don't have any.
okay. So let's get with Abby and, okay, and work out some multiple dates. Okay.
Excellent.
Nothing else?
That is all I have.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Next up is the community center update.
Hello, I'm back. Just following up on last meeting discussion to see if you guys had time to look over both options, TV and TV, and come to a decision on either one.
I like the PD. I mean, there's no remodeling of the old place. You know, I don't know if that's always good. I like the idea of having it.
Either one you pick is functional, by the way. Either one is fine.
I would like to make a motion to accept design option PB. That's P is in all. P.
I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second, for option PB, no questions, comments, or concerns from the board. Vote on that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. All right, so moves.
thank you.
All right, new business. Airport board? Is it going to be any discussion on this? No, sir. Not no open chamber at all today? No, sir. Because I chose not to. Okay. Airport board appointments?
We have a vacancy and it was advertised and we have received, two, letters of interest. One is from David Hagel and the second one is from, Wayne Cummings. But they're going with the new station, and that's when we turn it into.
Oh.
So I apologize. There was a
I was confused too.
yeah. I mean.
All right, do we have a motion for either one of the individuals? No, she's questioning.
I'm sorry, I can't get my iPad to work.
It
the
is
Letters.
here. There's the two others. A motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion to, appoint Dave Pagel.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so moves. Resolution 2023-18 Williams County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Williams County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan, whereas the city of Tioga recognizes the threat that natural, man-made, or technological hazards pose to people and property within our community, and whereas undertaking hazard mitigation actions will reduce and or eliminate the potential for harm to people and property from future hazard occurrences, and whereas an adopted multi-hazard mitigation plan is required as a condition of future funding for mitigation projects under multiple federal emergency management agency, which is FEMA, pre and post disaster mitigation grant programs, and whereas the city of Tioga participated in the preparation of this plan in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, and whereas adoption of the Williams County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan demonstrates the commitment to hazard mitigation, and now, therefore, let it be resolved that the city of Tioga adopt the Williams County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan pending final approval by the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services and the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
There a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second to approve the mitigation plan as it stands, no questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next will be bank depositories.
Every year, the city has to present the banking option. It is the North Dakota Census Code, and this year we had two interested parties. First State Bank and Bank of Tioga.
Sure, if you would like to come up and talk about your. And then I know Savannah's heard it well.
All right, good evening here, Mr. Mayor and City Commissioners. My name is Chris Jones, Senior Vice President, Chief Lending Officer, and member of First State Bank Board of Directors. With me this evening, I have Jake Jermanson, our bank's controller as well. I want to start off by thanking you for your business. We appreciate the relationship that we've been able to form with the City of Tioga this year. Our bank was able to provide the City of Tioga with the $10 million community center expansion loan that will save the City of Tioga millions of dollars in interest expense over the 10-year loan term relative to the other offer received from a competing financial institution. We have a vested interest in seeing the City of Tioga prosper. Our bank believes in supporting the communities that support us. Our success is tied to your success. We believe in growing relationships locally by supporting the communities, businesses, and individuals that make our region grow and prosper. We appreciate the opportunity here this evening to continue earning your business and growing our relationship with the City of Tioga. Be happy to stand for any questions the commission may have for myself or Mr. Jermanson related to our bank's proposal.
Anybody on the board have any questions for the proposal? All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Savannah, if you want to- opportunity. You're gonna have to go right back through there. I don't know why you put that back.
Good evening, Savannah Hendrickson, President of the Bank of Tioga. While recent decisions to move substantial deposits to another financial institution outside of this community was undoubtedly based off of financial considerations, I believe it's crucial to highlight the broader impact that the Bank of Tioga has had on the City of Tioga. We play an integral role in fostering the well-being and resilience of this community, and our commitment extends far beyond providing competitive interest rates. Our employees are active and invested members of the community, volunteering their time and energy to support local causes, serve on community boards, and actively participate in events that contribute to the betterment of Tioga. By keeping public funds within the community, our clients, including you, contribute to our ability to provide loans to local businesses, stimulating economic growth and job creation. We have initiated as well as participated in programs that directly benefit the community, such as the state's Housing Construction Loan Guarantee Program, which has contributed to over 25 homes being built in Tioga, financial literacy efforts, both in school and for the community, and our Small Business Rev Grant Program that helps to support small businesses in the communities that we serve. While the allure of a higher interest rate is certainly enticing on deposit accounts, it's essential to weigh this against the invaluable contributions the Bank of Tioga makes to the social and economic foundation of the city. Moving funds solely for financial gain risks diminishing our sense of community and shared responsibility. The Bank of Tioga and City of Tioga have shared a meaningful relationship for decades. This partnership has been built on trust, respect, and a shared commitment to the prosperity of Tioga. Therefore, I'm genuinely interested in understanding the factors that have led to the deterioration of this relationship in this past year, to the point where the city felt the need to engage a municipal advisor to conduct business beyond the request for a financial proposal for the community center project. To me, this simply suggests a breakdown in communication or understanding that merits consideration. Open and transparent communication is the foundation of any successful relationship. If there are concerns or issues that have contributed to the decision to move significant funds out of the community bank beyond a rate incentive offset by many of the things I'm sharing with you tonight, I'm eager to understand and address these for you. Better dialogue between us could illuminate any misunderstanding and potentially pave the way for a more collaborative future together. I respectfully urge the commission board to reflect on this past and future banking relationship decisions, considering the holistic impact on our community and the historical context of our partnership. By keeping public funds within the local bank, we strive to optimize returns, but also invest in the well-being and resilience of this city. Simply looking back over the past decade, our reinvestment into Tioga has amounted to over $800,000, with the Tioga Community Center receiving $100,000 of that in 2016 to help support the initial project. Affordable housing, assistance programs, theater, chamber, EDC, close-up, local churches, and many, many other efforts have been supported by the Bank of Tioga. In essence, the decision to move funds to a financial institution outside of this community resonates with the broader choice between supporting local businesses versus favoring large corporations, which rural communities beat their drum about to support and buy local. Please contemplate not only the immediate financial gains you're looking to achieve, but rather the long-term consequences on Tioga's vibrancy, resiliency, and identity. I'm asking you to retain the city of Tioga's majority banking relationship with us and work towards an enhanced relationship together. I appreciate your opportunity to address you in person.
All right, does anybody on the board have any questions regarding any of I appreciate both of you guys coming out tonight, and I'm looking through what was provided, and it's pretty clear to me, unless I'm putting it wrong. So with what I'm reading, it's a no-brainer to stay where we're at and continue on with the relationship that we previously had and try to build a stronger one with our local bank. I do appreciate everything that you guys have done for the community center, but that's my opinion. Unfortunately, we all know that I'm only a tiebreaker, I'm not a voting member of the board. So is there a motion on the floor from any board member?
I made a motion that we stay with the Bank of Tioga.
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second to stick with Tioga Bank, or the Bank of Tioga. No questions, comments, concerns of the board, will move to vote.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, so moves.
just, I just wanted to say one thing. It is the city's duty to yearly check on banks. It has nothing to do with, I felt like you were somewhat accusing us of wanting to move out. All we were doing was doing our financial duty. Honestly, none of us had any want or wish to move out, so I hope that you guys don't feel that way. You guys matched, you worked great with us, so I just wanted to say that. There wasn't a thought, but as commissioners, it is a responsibility to reach out and make sure we're doing the right financial decisions.
Number 7, the payroll schedule, holiday schedule, commission meeting schedule, all of those schedules for 2024.
Just making a motion to approve the schedules for next year, which includes the commission meeting. Commission meeting, the planning meeting, the fund meeting, ACH schedule, payroll schedule, holiday schedule.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, there's a second.
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve the schedules as displayed and put the comments concerns on board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 All right, so moved. Next is going to be, police department, number 8. You know, what's it?
Good evening, Chief Nelson Tioga, please. I come before you today because I'm looking to reestablish a sergeant position within my department. Previously, Sergeant Romero was our sergeant with our department. However, with his departure this last June, we haven't had anybody that we've filled that role with. We do have an individual that has assisted me with some of the tasks that would be considered to be a sergeant's responsibility. However, it's important to have a second supervisor within the department that I can assist in relying on for times when I'm not present for trainings or whatever the case may be. And to assist in maintaining high quality standard service for the community. So I am very blessed over the course of the last few years to obtain officers that come to me from various backgrounds with a fair amount of experience in law enforcement already. So at this point, I don't have a particular individual in mind per the new Lexipol policy. It outlines a specific process that we have to follow to promote within the department. Part of that would be advertising internally for that position, conducting interviews, and looking at recent work performance. So what I'm looking for here today is, in essence, the blessing to advertise internally for a sergeant, to select an interview panel to interview the candidates interested in becoming a sergeant with the questions I've provided you. So I need approval for those questions. And then the ability to vote, in essence, a sergeant that would be at the recommendation of the hiring board, if that makes any sense.
You just need one motion for all of that, or?
I guess yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
to advertise, change, the questions and to hire.
All right, I will make the motion.
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second. No questions, comments, concerns of the board, will move the vote.
Yes.
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 All right, so moves. Number 8.
Thank you. 8.5. So one of the items that was recently brought to our attention over the last year is a program called Axon Respond. Axon is the company that our dash cameras and our body cameras are through. Apparently, this company gives us the ability to potentially stream live video if there's an incident. And so what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to get 4 years of service of Axon Respond. And with that would come these sensors that in essence affixed to our holsters. And so should my officers happen to draw their gun while on duty, it's going to alert me that, hey, something's going on. Your officer may need help. I can then respond to assist that officer as needed. It also works if that officer activates their taser device. It's not a device that's really designed to beam in on them at any point in time. It's only when their body cameras are activated. However, if I don't happen to be at the actual incident at the time it's unfolding, it gives me a very good clear understanding of what is going on in real time. So ultimately, this quote is for $8,435.46. Again, it's for 4 years of service. It's going to boil down to about $2,108.88 a year.
Questions? All right, is there a motion? Either way.
You have any thoughts on it?
Why would you ask me that? Okay, he described everything that it does. I currently use it for my department. And it is the best thing, especially when I only have one officer on duty, to be able to see what's occurring. It'll, like you said, when an officer activates their taser or any officer around them activates their taser, it automatically alerts me and I can watch it in live time. And it allows our dispatchers to be able to see what's also occurring.
Is this for one unit?
So the cost he gave you, we will supply for the entire agency.
Yeah, for the body camera.
And that was what,
That's
21?
No, it's 8,000.
Well, altogether, yeah, it's $8,435.46. However, they broke the billing down into 4 different years, which gives the $2,100, over $2,100.
Okay,
And it's already paid off for me because I had an officer get into an altercation and deploy his taser, and I was able to know about it as it was occurring and get him help because he couldn't get to his radio. So
well, sometimes it's hard for me to wrap my head around this because.
it's called technology learning.
Yeah. They didn't have that when I was working.
Right, it was all smoke signals.
Yeah.
Get it?
If it makes you feel better, they had to literally show me through a demonstration too, so.
I would make a note that, if we don't make a decision now, the price goes up starting the new year, so.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
All right, with the motion and second to approve, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
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 All right, so the last portion of the new business agenda is going to be Tioga fund applications. There- All right, has everybody had an opportunity to review these? So the first one is for the Tioga Area Economic Development Corporation. They're asking for $34,950 for operating costs for 2024. And the second one is also for the Tioga Area Economic Development Corporation for $75,000 for a director for the Tioga Area Economic Development Corporation.
I'd make a motion, we approve the operating expenses. And I know Miles made a statement that he'd like to see EDC and the city work together. We would too. We'd like to see you work with our economic development. I'd make a motion to approve these operating expenses,
So just the operating.
just the operating expenses.
I guess I'll just reply to that. You know, we'd like to see if these organizations come together and work together as well. And that's the reason we didn't apply for funding for a position last year. We wanted to give that an opportunity to work, and we wanted to see what the communication and collaboration would look like. And to be honest with you, it just didn't happen. In fact, it was the opposite of that. And, you know, I can give you some examples. Abby is very aware. And I'm happy to do that, but I guess I don't know that we need to drag that out. I think you know, I think it maybe could be different if we have a person that's communicating with your part-time person and encourage them to collaborate, but it just didn't happen this last year. And, you know, we have some projects that we're working on, and we had a lot more that we wanted to work on this year. And, you know, our entire board is volunteer, and, you know, our members are comprised of business owners in Tioga. And we're seeing that more, you know, we're seeing that the rec board is hiring someone to work for them in addition to a bookkeeper, and we're seeing other boards are doing the same thing. The chamber is doing that, and this position can serve both. And so we really feel like, you know, this is something that should be considered here. I mean, the funds are there for economic development. We have some individuals that have approached us that could be very well qualified candidates. They're part of our community. Great volunteers, and we just see an opportunity here. To clarify too, the request is for up to $75,000. We just want the ability to go to that if we find that right candidate that checks all of our boxes. Doesn't necessarily mean that we would offer.
Sorry, I see that right here, or less than.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Mhm.
I apologize.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that we would offer that. But I do think, I mean, I will share it with, we did give a good faith effort, and, you know, it just didn't happen. We talked about that before. It has to go both ways, and it hasn't. And so, you know, I don't know that there's any harm in allowing that. We continue to see that, you know, we know you've made it clear that you have the control. But at the same time, communities work when we work together and when we share in the responsibilities. And we have these organizations throughout our community that are willing to help and wanting to help for the betterment of the community. And, you know, I think it's worth taking that into consideration too.
I wish Chelsea was here so she could defend herself.
I didn't say anything specific to Chelsea.
Well, you said that she was not willing to work with you. Maybe not her specifically, but I'm wondering, what did you guys do to try to reach out to her?
Well, you know, Kevin and I have had a few conversations about this, and I think that it probably goes without saying. I mean, Chelsea and I have had conversations individually, but I think it kind of goes without saying that when the commission decides that they're going to hire this person, and the response to us initially was that this person would report to Abby as far as, you know, payroll and HR and things like that. But other than that, they would communicate with the EDC as far as, you know, projects or things going on. I mean, that certainly didn't happen. And, you know, to the effect that she was instructed to contact other organizations that we're part of and have board positions on and remove us and be replaced with Chelsea. And so I think it begs the question, or to maybe just the statement that the part-time city EDC person does not replace Tioga Area Economic Development.
So I have a question. If you guys are the Tioga Area Economic Development Corporation, I know you guys serve the city of Tioga. What other areas do you service?
We just kind of serve surrounding areas. I mean, we do collaborate, you know, with Ray as far as advertising with them. We have several members, part of Tioga Area Economic Development that are Ray businesses. And so we try to support them when we're working on projects as well.
So is there any way that one of the subdivisions that you guys also represent, be it Ray or whatever townships around us that you guys help try to bring business to or whatever, is there a way that they can join in on this? So the brunt of the cost isn't coming from the city of Tioga and you guys utilizing that ability to go elsewhere?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. One thing that we've talked about is maybe just going to the county for a portion of that, because Tioga Area Economic Development really kind of serves this side of the county.
Right.
I think we need to locate that position first and, you know, kind of demonstrate that now we've been without someone. So, you know, we're not opposed to looking into that, but I will say the majority of our focus is on Tioga community.
Well, I can tell you, I've already said it earlier, but I would like to see you guys come back with an application separating it out, just like I just said. If we can do that, I think it would be awesome for everybody who gets to utilize your guys' services to be able to have a bit of a say, or at least put in their little bit of a portion to assist with that. So that's mine. I would like to see it approved with that caveat that
So would you approve a percentage of that then? So, you know, say we, you know, 85% of our time is focused on Tioga, then would you approve 85% of that, and the difference then the ADC will source from other communities?
it'll be up to the board, but for me, that I like that, because then we're not taking the brunt of everything,
Mhm.
and we're sharing you guys with everybody who gets to utilize your services.
Sure.
But is that what the 1% sales tax isn't that fund?
It is yeah, that's where our funds, where we're requesting them from, the economic development portion of the Tioga fund, which comes from the sales tax. And so a good point to that is that, you know, the sales tax dollars come from not just people in the city of Tioga or in the community of Tioga. I think we have several from other surrounding communities, and definitely Ray, that spend money here and sales tax money. And so that's something to keep in mind, that that's where that's coming from. This isn't coming from property taxpayers or things like that, but I hope that we're considering that also.
All right. Is there any motions on the floor? I know Tim started something.
Yep, that's my motion for the operating expense.
Okay.
34.
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second to only approve the 34,950 for the operating cost. No questions, comments, or concerns from the board? We'll move to vote.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
All right, so moves. And then next will be.
There's not a motion then for the position.
Oh, is there, I'm sorry.
Not for me.
No motion for the,
Can
Position?
you share with me why you're opposed to that position?
because we are trying to fill that position on our side. Which we would like to work with you guys on.
So is there a full 1% that goes towards the EDC? And if so, how much money is that?
There is a 1% tax that does go to economic development, not EDC.
Or isn't that the same thing?
No, their board is a whole separate entity.
I think I'm okay with your decision. We're seeing a pattern here in the community, and I hope that you guys are recognizing it. And, you know, I guess I just have to say my piece a little bit. When we're talking about the community center, you can see the lengths that this community has gone to with this commission to try to get you to listen just to what they're saying, to try to get you to open up communication and let them know that they're heard. And so when we
For
look at
3
that,
years, we have been trying to communicate and get people to listen, and more misinformation keeps getting spread. And the people that are supposed to help support us grow and want to see good things for Tioga have been the very ones against us.
and so I guess I don't know exactly who you're speaking of, but I think if you listen to the community, they're just saying, give us all of the information. Give us your due diligence, give us your feasibility study, share where this is coming from, and then let us make an educated decision, like we want to support you. But we continue to see this commission say, whether you agree with us or not, we're going to move forward and we're gonna do it no matter what you think. And
We roll
again,
into these spots, Wendy. We do listen to the people, not just one side. We listen to two sides. Two sides, not just yours. We listen to the other people as well. There are people out there that support us.
I don't argue that. I say when you see one 400 signature petition and a 264 signature petition, and you still don't even acknowledge
It
that
wasn't
hardly.
400 people. There was names from Texas and Florida and Stanley and Ray.
And how about
Howard's
the,
Lake,
how about the
Rager.
264 signature petition? I think what I'm trying to say is that these community members continue to try to do their part, to be part of this community and see better things. And what we continue to hear from this commission is, if it's not our way, it's no way. And you know, that just isn't right. From the EDC to the park board to this community center. I mean, you put this committee together, the community center committee, and we worked a lot of hours on that. There was a very diverse committee, and the suggestion overwhelmingly from our committee for what blueprint to go with, you chose the other one. What was the point of that? What was the point of all of our volunteer time if you're not going to listen to our suggestion? So, the piece to that was the biggest complaint, if there's any kind of expansion, the great room needs to be bigger so that our large community events that carry on the traditions in Tioga, we've got enough room for them. That was the reason that overwhelmingly was the choice when it made that great room larger. And I don't know, I guess I would ask how many of you reached out to committee members to say, what was your reason for choosing this one?
I did.
Because I don't recall exactly how many, but I think almost all of them chose the other one.
That's not the way I understood it. One thing that was brought to my attention was the room with the artificial turf. Instead of having to do a roll-up part, that this would be permanent. And like Williston and the Arc, they're looking at adding on.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that on that one. And again,
Whole nother space.
we had a certain square footage that had to fit in the box that the commission already established. But if you look at that turf in that second drawing, it's 25 feet wide. What will you do with that area? And pieces of it have to be pulled up every time you open up those bleachers.
Okay, Wendy, I really do appreciate it.
Okay, all right.
About this, correct? The EDC,
Yes. About the EDC part.
okay,
I just wanted to say for clarification, so that everybody is understanding, it is a 1 cent sales tax. Well, that 1 cent sales tax, it is broken into 5 pots. So it is broken up 5 ways. And a portion of that 1 cent goes into economic development for the city. It is not for a specific corporation or anything else. It is used for a multitude of projects or other things going on that is supposed to develop economic development within our city of Tioga. It is a city sales tax. It's not a city area sales tax. It is a city sales tax. And a portion of that 1 cent goes into economic development, not a whole cent, a portion of that.
thank you. Was there a motion on this at all? Need a motion to approve or deny?
Which is currently under, is that what you're asking, Kevin? I just want to make sure our record's clear. The
Yes,
operating expenses have already been approved by most.
yeah, operating expenses have already been done. I need a motion to approve or deny the the funds for the director for the Tioga Area Economic Development Corporation.
I'll move to deny.
Okay, with a motion to deny, I'm sorry, is there a second?
Guys, we really are trying here to work for the community and work with these business owners, and I don't think that that should be ignored.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second to deny, no questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 So moved. Next is going to be the consent approval, payroll for December 7th, 2023, and financials for November 2023.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. No questions, comments, or concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
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 All right, that appears to be the end of the agenda. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
President Linton, I would appreciate the opportunity to hear some community comment on reports that came up tonight on the community center expansion project. Mr. Anderson has. I appreciate that, sir.
You can have
1
three.
hour,
I'm sorry?
1 hour. We've been here two and a half.
Okay, so how this can go is I can just end the meeting right now and we can have no comments. Okay, I was looking to see what time it was because I do have other things that I have to do tonight as well. Okay, and I appreciate you standing up to tell me Mr. Anderson needs to talk. Okay, but I'm not gonna expect, we're not gonna take this disrespect. I won't use the word hate because I know you dislike that word.
I do, sir, because
Okay.
I do not believe we hate in Tioga. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank
Okay, you can have
Thank
3
you.
minutes, sir, because
So this, Bob Anderson, so I guess I don't know, you guys were served some papers on Thursday. I guess
we're in
not
litigation, I'm
talking
not
about that.
talking about
Okay.
that.
So
That's
I
exactly.
went to a school,
Time out,
went to a
time
school,
out, time out.
okay, okay.
That's exactly why I didn't want to get into this conversation.
Okay, so I went to the school board
Yes,
meeting and you were there.
yes, I was.
And it was, the school board, they did it right. The school board, they sent out pamphlets to every house. Letting them know what they were gonna do. And they're having meetings on it. And guess what? They're having an election on January 8th about the gym and everything.
Right.
And that's the way this thing should have been the whole time. That's what we've been asking for a year and a half from you guys, is a vote. You guys have turned this blacked out. So I'm not gonna get into the petty stuff, this is gonna go into other things, so. The number one reason why you guys wanted a gym down there at the community center was because their kids had to get up at 5:30 in the morning for wrestling and basketball, absolutely.
That was
That's what
not,
it
that was
started.
not, what was not.
You know, okay, so
No,
just
it's not.
listen what I got to say. So the school now has finally alleviated that, so at that meeting,
If it gets approved.
if it gets approved, which it most likely will. But let me ask you this. What is more important to the city of Tioga, a real strong school or a community center? That community center is fine the way it is. It's a nice building. It got built to replace the Farm Festival building, period. It was never designed for a recreational center. So, anyway,
It was designed for a.
No,
community
no.
center.
it's a
Will say
community
that.
center, it is.
So
It was
the
never
community
meant to-
center is for the whole community, it was designed for recreational.
Okay, so we don't need it anymore with the, we got a school that's gonna have 3 gyms up at the high
Who's
school.
gonna be able to utilize that, Mr. Anderson?
Yeah, but you know what I'm asking the city is, if we put this thing up for a vote, how could, having the school, okay, I'm just saying this. Okay,
I
the
do want
school,
to say this, the reason why it was put up for a vote is because it's your sales tax, it's your property taxes. That's why it needs to go up.
So,
This is strictly
But I'm
oil
saying,
and gas.
without a strong school, we have no town. Would you agree to that?
To a point, yes. So
Okay,
here's the
so-
deal, okay?
So when I'm
So
asking.
we're gonna
you-
leave it in the court's hands. If the
Okay.
court says we have to have a, election,
Yeah,
we'll do what the court tells us to do.
Okay.
But we've already seeked legal counsel, and I'm not gonna discuss any more of this with you today.
okay, so when I,
I apologize, your time is up, we're done.
okay, so I'm gonna
You
bring
please
up
have a
one
seat,
thing,
Mr. Anderson.
where's Sean Travis? We're
Okay.
missing a board member. And you know, if he
Okay.
can show up at pool night at a bar, you know, and he's worried about
Okay,
things
can
for
I have
the
a
kids,
motion to
why don't
adjourn?
why don't we open up the bowling alley again? That's what I got to say.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Also.
All right, with a motion and a second to adjourn, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
meeting's adjourned at 8:10. Thank you.